asked my mother a long time ago, I said, why'd you name me Shaquille O'Neal? And she said, because my grandmother told me that you will be somebody that will always be remembered. That's what she told me. I mean, because, you know, all my other kids, cousins are Brian, Kenny, Tony, Jerome, Mike Jr. Yeah, I was like, why'd you name me that crazy name? She said, because my mother told me that you're gonna be world renowned. That name, Shaquille O'Neal, will ring bells. And I was like, well, how you know that I wasn't gonna be a criminal? And you know, my mom, stop playing, boy.
Don't stop playing, Shaq. Don't ever stop playing. It is Shaq, The Big Conversation. It premieres September 7th at 8 on NBA TV, and that is exactly 2 days before the Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony in Springfield, and that you will see also on NBA TV Friday, September 9th. And we welcome you back to Game Time. Rick Hamla and Dennis Scott, who played 4 seasons with Shaq in Orlando from 92 to 96. Tell us the story of when you first met Shaq and about that name, Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, it's too funny, Rick. I remember Nick Anderson and I watching the tournament, and obviously when LSU lost, he put his name in the hat to go in the draft, and he was like, why don't we get Shaquille O'Neal? So we were calling him Shaquille O'Neal the whole time. Then obviously we draft him. He comes to Orlando. We first meet with him. He goes, slow down. It's Shaquille O'Neal.
Was he mad?
He wasn't mad, but he wanted to make sure that we got it right. And we did.
So, DZ, tell us something about Shaq that we may not have known. Take us inside.
Well, that when Shaquille O'Neal first came into the NBA, he was real naive. He didn't realize how good he was, how dominant he was. I remember it was time to get his new contract. We were talking about $100 million. He goes, there's no way I can get $100 million. I won't be able to go anywhere. I said, well, Shaq, you can't go anywhere now. You're the Pied Piper. Everywhere we go, there's people chasing the bus. There's people waiting at the hotels because of you. He goes, really? I said, yeah. You see all these people out here? We didn't have these people waiting on us last year. We were a young expansion team trying to figure out who we were. But now we have Shaquille O'Neal on our team, and the way you're dominating and off the court, being so friendly, the rapping, the acting, all those things, the personality, you said, wow. Now it's Shaq. It's no longer Shaquille, it's Shaq.
The Pied Piper or the paid Piper? Maybe that's a topic for another day. Let's show you Shaquille O'Neal's career rankings. 7th all-time in points, 14th all-time in rebounds, 8th all-time in swats, 15 All-Stars, MVP, and 4 rings. How long did it take you to realize you were playing with a future Hall of Famer?
Not long, Rick. I remember an exhibition game in South Dakota, and before the game, Shaq wanted to go walk around and see the town. I said, Shaq, there's a lot of snow on the ground. Let's go anyway. Went to the local mall. Next thing you know, the whole city, the whole small town of South Dakota was there watching us play. And then they said, wait a minute. This big guy's actually signing autographs, being friendly, being approachable. That's one of the best things we love about Big Fella.
Yeah, we love Shaq, no doubt about that. What's the best advice you, his best friend, ever gave him?
I remember because he was a big, Patrick Ewing fan, David Robinson, because they could shoot the jump shot, the fadeaway, the free throw line jump shot. And I said, Shaq, no. I'm not throwing you the ball in the post. I'm not throwing you the ball when you pop out. I want to throw you the ball around the rim so you can dominate. 1 or 2 dribbles, barbecue chicken, and go ahead and finish the basket. That's the part of Shaq where he respects the game so much, he respects his elders so much, he wanted to be like some of those guys. I'm like, no, big fella, you don't need a jump shot. The baby hook, the dunk, the baby hook, the dunk. They will never get tired of that. And by the way, you get double teamed a lot. That makes life easier for guys like me.
So all those elbow sandwiches that Deke got in the finals
barbecue
back in the day,
chicken, like he says.
They go back to the advice that Dennis gave him. All right, so we have come to a very dramatic point of our interview here about Shaquille O'Neal. We want to find out, everybody out there in NBA TV land wants to know your top 5 centers all time and where Shaq is ranked.
This was a tough one because I had to put the friendship to the side and just about basketball. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, obviously the best shot in basketball, the sky hook. Bill Russell, the defense, we know how that's always been. Shaq, you're the most dominant big man we've ever seen. Yes, I know Wilt has some dominant numbers and arguably the best stat in basketball, 100 points, but Shaq more dominant. And last but not least, Hakeem the Dream Shake, maybe the most talented big man we see with his ball handling, the fadeaways, pushing the ball full court. That's my top 5 right there.
So you can follow Dennis at 3DZ and you can light them up if you want. You know there are Wilt Chamberlain fans out there who think that Wilt is the most dominant. Who does Shaq think's the most dominant of all time? Does he think it's him or does he think it's Wilt?
Shaq thinks it's him. He respects, obviously, Wilt's numbers speak for themselves, but in Shaq's era, every time when Shaq stepped on the floor, you knew you had to double team him. Otherwise, it was 40 and 20, or he was getting your other big guys in foul trouble.
And Shaq did call himself the MDP. Quickly, favorite nickname?
Ooh, probably the Big Cactus, because at the end of his career, he's going to Phoenix. You're like, what is he going to name himself? And here he is riding down the street and goes, Cactus.
My personal favorite is the Tropical Big Man.
Ooh,
all right, next
like
week is Shaq Week on NBA TV. Here's a hilarious preview.
Here it comes.
Shaq Week. All me, all the time. It's Shaq Week, baby.
Featuring every episode of Shaq and a Fool.
Who is number one?
Shaq's greatest hardwood classics.
Oh, Shaq.
Every Shaq appearance on open court.
I love Day-Ruffs. I love Patrick Ewing. That's barbecue chicken down there.
And much more.
It's Shaq Week, baby.
Shaq Week begins August 29th, only on NBA TV.